Hello everyone, Amanda here. Thanks so much for joining me. So today we're going to make the cover for the Wanderlust journal, okay? Now, if you've been following along, if you're one of my members, I normally make my covers in exactly the same way, measurement-wise, not style-wise, but I have a formula, okay? The formula's out of the window when it comes to heavily decorated pages, okay? I normally, if I show you here, have half an inch here, half an inch here and half an inch here, always, okay? That's how I size my spacing for my signatures, so I never get gator mouth. But I generally do quite simple journal pages that are not heavily decorated. They are for writing. This one is heavily decorated, so you can see immediately, if I show you from the top view, two signatures, you can see there's a massive difference. So that means we're going to need to do our spacing differently, okay? And also I've got these tabs. I don't want the tabs, my cover, to fall short of the tabs, because the idea of the cover is to protect your pages, okay, so that they don't all get beat up. So let me explain the sizing for here. So if you want to measure your own, you don't want to follow mine, just let me give you some tips. So when you've got a highly decorated journal, you don't want to squeeze it like that and then think, oh, I'll just measure there and see how wide. You want your signatures to be relaxed, and you also don't want them tight here, because then you're gonna, if you end up measuring here, you're going to end up with gator mouth. So you want your signatures together in a relaxed way, and having a space there is good, okay? You don't want them like that, because you can see already we're getting gator mouth without even having the cover. So have it relaxed and then kind of measure it to get an idea. Okay, so I've assessed that if you've followed along with my step-by-step tutorials on decorating these pages, we're going to need a 3-inch spine, okay, which is larger than what I normally use. So if you've got things protruding, so my formula is always measure your signature, measure your page width, add 1/4 inch, measure the height, add 1/2 inch. That gives you 1/4 inch space all the way around there, so that your cover protects your pages. So in this instance, we've got quite a lot of protrusion. So I'm going from the spine. I've got my signature together. I can hold it firmly in this instance because I'm just measuring. And I've got my ruler there. And these protrude to about 6 1/4 with these tabs. So I need to add 1/4 inch on to there. So that means that my cover width needs to be 6 1/2. My pages are always 8. So because I'm an A4 user, so that will mean the height will be 8 1/2. Okay, are you with me? So that you've got 1/4 inch there, 1/4 inch there, and 1/4 inch there. You don't need 1/4 inch there, because that's obviously going to go flat up against your spine. Okay, that's how to make sure that your cover protects your pages. So let me give you my measurements. So if you're a letter size user, take the formula I've just given you into account. So for A4 users, mine measures 8 1/2 by, what have I done it, 6 1/2, 6 1/2, yeah. So the spine is always this, obviously the same height, so 8 1/2, and I've done it 3 inches. I've wrapped all of my cover using the fabric tape method. I'm not showing that on this video. I will leave a link in the description box below to a step-by-step video on how to do it with the fabric tape method. If you don't have the fabric tape, it's called acrylic fabric tape. You'll find it linked in my most used crafted products video. I'll link that below as well. You can obviously wrap it with cardstock. Okay, if you're wrapping with cardstock, make sure you leave a nice gap between your cover and your spine, okay, because you're going to have bulk in there, and if you don't leave a nice gap, it won't close, okay, because you'll have the bulk of the cardstock in there. This stuff's super thin. If you're using cardstock, you need to make sure you're leaving probably 1/4 inch gap spacing, okay? Right, so then what we want to do is, and I'm keeping this video fairly short today, we will do the fancy bits on Tuesday because I'm on grandma duty all weekend. One of my daughters is away in Barcelona and I am leaving shortly to go and look after my grandchildren for 3 days. So what we want to do is, if you're following back me, you want to cut a piece of patterned paper for the spine, okay? It wants to be 1/4 of an inch shorter on the height and 1/4 of an inch shorter on the width. That gives you a 1/8 of an inch border. And you want to glue that in, okay? Let me see if this is going to play ball with me today. It's been a bit naughty over the last few days. Okay, and you want to glue that in. And then maybe decide what you're having on the outside spine. Now, I am going to be doing quite a decorative closure, which I'm going to do on Tuesday. So if you're following along and you want your journal to be the same as mine, do not lay patterned paper on the front and the back cover yet. Okay? Don't do it. You can if you want. If you want to go ahead and get it finished and do your own thing, fine. If you want to follow mine exactly, you can lay your pattern paper. Can you lay your pattern paper on the inside? Let me think how I'm doing it. You can lay your pattern paper on the inside if you want, but leave the front and the back cover plain, because the closure that I'm going to do will lay under the patterned paper. Okay, it will lay under it, so you can pick your papers, but don't glue them down yet. Okay, so you want to glue that spine piece, okay, front and back. Okay, I'll do my front piece in a minute off camera. Then what we're going to do is we are going to measure. Okay, we're going to find our spine. It's there, it's 3 inches. We're going to make a mark at 1 inch and a mark at 2 inch. And we're going to come down from the top. What do we do? About 3/8 of an inch to 1/2 an inch. Okay, and that's how I space. So I want it there. And I want that there. Okay, and then you take your time and you measure it exactly the same at the bottom. So you find your spine with your ruler, 1 inch there, 2 inch there, and measure up 3/8 of an inch the same. Okay, so just under 1/2 an inch. That's about right. That's about right. Then you punch your holes. Okay, so I've punched my holes and I've set my eyelets. 2 tips. Make sure that your paper is fully dried before punching any holes, and that is front and back. Lay your paper first, go away, leave it to fully dry. Otherwise, when you punch if you punch your holes and then, you know, you've got to wiggle this to get it out a bit, you'll tear your paper because it's wet. Also, make sure you set your eyelets from the front in, so that the nice part is on the outside of your journal, not on the inside of your journal, okay? We'll put the ugly bit on the inside, although these have set quite nicely. So we're doing the Midori style binding, which is one of my favourites because it's quicker than sewing in. And I like it because it means you can move things about and you can add and remove pages. If they're sewn in, they're done, aren't they? So I've got some elastic here. It's approximately 2mm. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go from the inside out first. Okay. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't want it showing. Let me think. Let me think how we're going to do it. Right, so I'm going to go up through the bottom. Up through the bottom from the front and in. And then you're going up the middle on the inside of the cover. Through the top. And then we're coming across. Okay. And what that does, okay, let me just think. And then if we just cut that side, and then this bottom one here is going to go on the inside from the outside in. All right, so then I get it even, and I'll just tie it in a loose bow. So not like real loose, but you know, like I'm not going to pull it fully tight yet, because I'll pull it fully tight once my signatures are in and I can assess how much tension I need. Okay, and I'll leave those bits on for now. So by doing it this way, the strings are on the inside, and then on the outside you've only got them across the top, not all the way down. Okay, I just prefer it that way. It's fine, you can do it how you like. All right, let me just trim these because they're bugging me. And then you get your signatures. Okay, you find the centre, which is there. And this is why we don't pull them tight yet, so that we've got plenty of room. And that's one. And that's two. And this style of binding makes it easy for everybody. It just makes it easier. It also means, you know, if you've put a page in the wrong way, you know, you can change it. If you don't like the layout, you can change it. If you want to add some more pages, you can add some more pages. If you decide you've got too many, you can take some out. Okay, so that is our, and as you can see, that is giving us a nice size. You might think, well, that's a big gap, that's a big gap, and that's a big gap. You need it so that these parts here can breathe. Okay, that is a nice size. And you know when your journal's right, because when you lay it flat like that, yeah, it's hard to show here, but when you lay it flat, the cover is right. It's not like this. Okay, if it's like this, then it just means you can add more stuff. But if it's like that, it's a bit of a gator mouth. Not that there's anything wrong with that if you like that style. I don't. Okay, that's the only reason. And then you've got all of the, because you've got that lovely spacing in the middle when you open it. Okay, each signature will lay nice and flat. I'm not in shot very good here because I'm trying to be quick. Each signature will lay nice and flat, so you've got plenty of room. Okay, so that your pages are I see journals all the time, and all the pages on this side are like this, and when you're opening them, I'm like, how are you meant to write? How are you meant to write on there when this is so bulky? But with this method, with this lovely spacing, they will all lay fairly flat, so that you can still have a very functional journal. Okay, so you can add more stuff if you want. You can decorate there. There is room for a very simple pocket. There isn't room for like folios, flips and flaps, but you could put a simple pocket there, and you could put a simple pocket there, or just line it with patterned paper. And then, like I say, I will be back on Tuesday, and we will work on the front cover, okay? And the closure will come from the front, and it will also be accessed on the back. So if you want to follow me, like I say, don't put pattern paper on here yet. Just carry on working on this, or start on the new collection. Printing it out and doing your fussy cutting. And I'll be back on Tuesday, and on Tuesday this journal will be finished. Okay, I did say I'd make a box for it. I think I'm running out of time, but we'll see how we go. But we're going to do a really nice closure. I know what we're doing. I've got it in my brain. I just need to iron it out, and I'll do a full step-by-step tutorial. So there you go. That's the journal, near enough done, and it's looking really rather fabulous. I think I might put eyelets in all of these if I've got time. And I'm going to go through the rest of my bits and bobs and fussy cuts of what I've got left, and I'll find homes for them. And any offcuts that I've got, I'll see if I can find a use for them, so that I'm using as much of this paper that I've printed out for this collection as I can, and not wasting anything. That's going to be one big chunky monkey. All right, so I'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.